Hi friends, happy to meet you through this seventh part of NEET Series 2020. In this part, let us discuss about the interpretation of graphs, which is always a challenging type of questions to many of us. To demystify that, we have handpicked 10 graphical interpretation problems and solved for you. However, we see first 5 problems in this part and the next 5 in the next part, okay? So the first problem is, which of the following graphs represent the correct Boyle's law? I know Boyle's law, which states that pressure is inversely proportional to volume at a constant temperature. Okay, this is Boyle's law, and so pressure and volume vary inversely, which means graph 3 is the right one. And if I consider PV, product of PV must be a constant, which means graph 2 is also correct. And if I consider 1 by V as a variable like X, then P will vary directly with X. In that case, graph 1 is also right, which means first 3 are correct. So my option A is the right answer. The second one, consider the given plots for a reaction obeying Arrhenius equation. The temperature is greater than 0 degrees Celsius and lesser than 300 degrees Celsius. So K and E are rate constant and activation energy respectively. I know that Arrhenius equation is K is equal to A into e power minus EA by RT. From the equation I understand that K is inversely proportional to my EA because it carries a negative sign. Okay, but T is a negative of inverse, which means it is directly proportional. So K and E are inversely proportional, which should give me a negative slope. So graph 1 is right, and K and T should give me positive slope, which means the second graph is also right. So option D is the right answer. Now the third question, a plot of volume V versus temperature T for a gas at constant pressure is a straight line passing through the origin. The plots of different values of pressure are shown in figures. So P1 and P2, P3, P4, they are given, and the graph is plotted volume versus temperature. So I know that Boyle's law, which states that the pressure is inversely proportional to volume at constant temperature. So I can write like P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, which is equal to P3 V3, that is equal to P4 V4. Okay. From the graph, I will understand that P1 has greater volume and P2 has lesser volume. Okay, so from which I can write like V1 must be greater than V2, which is greater than V3, which is greater than V4, right? So in that case, P1 must be lesser than P2, which is lesser than P3, which is lesser than P4, which means option C is the right answer. Fourth one, the given graph shows the vapor pressure temperature curves for some liquids. Liquids A, B, C, D, they are respectively as, so we have diethyl ether, acetone, ethanol and water. Among the four, the one which has a greater vapor pressure, which is highly volatile, which will have greater vapor pressure, okay, because vapor pressure is inversely proportional to the strength of intermolecular interactions, intermolecular forces, or whatever. Okay, so diethyl ether will have very poor intermolecular forces, which means that will have greater vapor pressure. So my A must be diethyl ether. This must be diethyl ether. And next one is acetone. Acetone has a weak dipole interaction, so my B must be acetone. Okay, and ethanol and water have hydrogen bonding. Among that, water has stronger hydrogen bonding than ethanol, which means my C must be ethanol and D must be water. So option A is the right answer. Fifth question, identify the order from the graphs given below. Okay, so I know that concentration of A will vary inversely with temperature for zero order reaction, and also log A log of concentration A will vary inversely with temperature, time for first order reaction, whereas 1 by concentration of A, this will vary directly with time for second order reaction, and inverse of concentration square will vary directly with time for a third order reaction. So it's in the order 0, first, second and third, which means option C is the right answer. Thank you guys. Happy learning.